Okay, so here's a video for the Cobra version, but instead of being named after the same thing as the G.I. Joe version, this one is called the Pulverizer, and it's also from 2004, which is 10 years later than when the Power Fighters were brought out. And this one has Ghost Bear, and if I remember correctly, he is the son of one of the characters that was in the Marvel run. Um, so that's kind of cool. Is I like how they expand the story. So if you're able to look up, I believe his name was Quinn, and so Ghost Bear is, if I remember correctly, Quinn's son. So I kind of didn't mention it with the G.I. Joe Defense Mech, but with this one, I think you'll be able to tell that this came out during the Valor versus Venom line of G.I. Joe, and that was when Cobra was basically taking DNA from animals and using it to make their own super soldiers, kind of like in the new movie, you've got the Neo Viper, and they're got nanomite and Cobra venom in them. So in a way, that's how I think they came up with that in the new movie. Is hey, they had that in 2006-ish, or I guess 2004 technically, since that's when these figures came out. So again, that's another thing that if you haven't seen the movie, that's how I feel like they've justified and done G.I. Joe justice in the movie, is they're taking something that they've already thought of before and reinventing it in some way to put it in the movie. So that's one reason I think I enjoyed the movie so well, is to be able to, see all these things. And I'm like, hey, I bet that's where they got that from, and oh, that explains that. But anyway, so to go on and show you why, it comes across that this is a Valor versus Venom figure, is because if you look on the side here with this arm, it's got some detail on that, and that could either be trying to replicate the skin of a whale, or maybe some scale on either an alligator or a snake, or whatever else you might think that looks like. You then have on this side the other part of what could be an animal. That could be an alligator. Kind of has a long mouth to be a snake, but to take that side and mix it with that side, you can kind of see that there's supposed to be some type of animal resemblance there. So with this one, again, you've got movement at the knee, I thought, but actually I guess you don't. You don't have movement at the knee. These things kind of give you that impression that you would have a bending joint right there, but I guess that joint's just there to allow this to slide up and down, which is another thing that I think they did good about updating it, is with the Power Fighter, there's really no real protection from, somebody slicing at you, or a missile, or a bullet, or whatever hitting you. I mean, yeah, your feet are okay, but what about your knees and your chest and all that kind of stuff? So that's one good thing I think they did with the update, is they're a little more protective and a little more encased. If you're fighting with one of these up against another one, you'd want a little bit of protection, I think. So thankfully his arm is already holding on to that orange handle right there, and then he's also encased in a protective glass, even though it is made out of plastic. And there's Ghost Bear. And let's actually pick up the camera and see if I can get in there a little bit closer so you can see what he looks like. So he's got one eye, or actually, I guess they might be exactly the same. He's wearing goggles and like a ski mask, and then even though he's got that, it looks like his hair, which is that orange stuff on top, so that's kind of different. But anyway, so he also has a nice cobra symbol right here. Let's try and get that. So right there, he's got a cobra symbol. And let's go on to the electronics. His, if I can find out how to do it. Let's see. Okay. Took me a while. Shows that I don't play with these things. Right here is a little, not really a lever, but if you push down on it, so there's a shooting sound there, a warm-up sound, I'm trying to think that what it is that, could be wrong, but it seems like to me that if you have it, the arm facing down, it does the warm-up sound. And then if you have it in the middle kind of section, it does that one. And then let's raise it all the way up. And then it does that one. So it seems like there's different, push it up, push it down, and then hold it down. So that's kind of cool that there's 3 different sounds. And then let's just kind of show you all the different looks to him. Kind of has like a spine motif in the back. So it almost could come across as, even though I think it's probably supposed to replicate like a alligator whale type thing, I guess it could come off a little bit dinosaur, but of course, even though it's not real, there are no dinosaurs in the Valor versus Venom line. But so anyway, so there is the Cobra Pulverizer with Ghost Bear from 2004, Valor versus Venom line.